My name's Aliza Alibhai. I'm 18 years old and I go to Scripps Ranch High. I've been swimming for almost 14 years and I'm almost done with my last high school season, which is exciting but also kind of sad. I love to do art. I've been doing art ever since I was a little child. I was always the one with the coloring box and coloring like pencils and all of that, and I loved it. And every moment that would come with me. I think those are two of my biggest hobbies. I love mentoring my middle schoolers at Marshall Middle. That's probably the most amazing thing that I think I've done. I was a Model United Nations delegate at Marshall ever since I was in 7th grade and had a lot of really influential mentors. I was actually given an opportunity to become one of them, and I mentor 6th or 8th graders on world topics and how to speak and how to present yourself and how to write, which I've been doing for 4 years now, and that's really, really exciting to me. But then it also gave me the opportunity to run one of the largest conferences, or the largest conference west of the Mississippi River, the San Diego Regional Model United Nations Conference. I think this year it's close to 500 people. I think it's 300 delegates and 100 something visitors, which is a really, really big deal. And I was given the opportunity to actually run that with 5 other people, which has been a really cool opportunity and a really exciting opportunity because I get to work with UCSD with that and a lot of other really big organizations, which is a lot of fun. My grandma, that sounds really sappy and really all sweet, but she is a cancer survivor, a breast cancer survivor, which really showed me and she actually never complained about it. I was very young when she was diagnosed, and I never really knew that she was a breast cancer survivor until I grew older, and I realized because she was always the strongest woman that I had known. She used to crochet for those who were needy, and that was if you have a skill and if you have something you're good at, use it for good. And she's always been about community service and giving back to the people that you grew up with and never losing your roots. So I think she really was she is my most influential person in my life. I think my parents both have very recognizably Muslim names, and growing up, they actually immigrated to the United States, I think early 2000s, and with 9/11 happening in 2002, they were in St. Louis, Missouri, which is a very Republican area. Especially in that time, I think my dad and both my parents were very, very concerned with the Islamophobic movement happening in the United States, which unfortunately caused them to be scared and me not understanding what it means to embrace my heritage and my culture and everything that comes with being brown in the United States. And it's taken me a really long time to understand that it is something to celebrate and it is something to be excited for. So I work at an internship at the moment, really close to my school, and I'm running a whole Ramadan project, and I'm exposing them to the Arabic language and what Ramadan is, so that there are other girls and boys who are brown and they don't have to have the same struggles that I did. I'm a planner, but I'm also very stubborn, and a lot of people think of stubborn as being a negative thing, and that's not a good thing. But for me, I actually use my stubbornness and I really, really fight for something. If I know that if I really, really believe in something and I'm really headstrong about it, I will do everything that it takes to get there. I just have to really believe in that thing. And my stubbornness is my biggest strength in that situation. I'm also a very big planner. I like things to be detailed and I like to know how things are gonna happen and the steps and all of that. So I tend to be very organized as well. I think you can't have pity for yourself. I think everyone has situations in their life, and I think everyone has the luck of everyone gets drawn cards. And unfortunately, I had to move a lot as a kid. Just the circumstance was that way. My family was a little bit split apart for a little while because of my dad's jobs. And that didn't cause me to have a very good childhood friends or anything like that. But my grandma always said, you have to stick with it. You have to find something you enjoy and you have to help people. So that really was ingrained in me, and I really took whatever skills I had and I tried to work from it, and I really learned not to have pity for myself and to keep going no matter how hard it was. If you want it, do it. Don't be scared, because I think fear stops us the most. And I think fear doesn't just happen internally. I think it's fear of society. I think it's fear that our parents may have or people around us that may have and that may be instilled in you. But if that's something that you really, really, really want, do it and work for it. Maybe not now, but really work for it and get there, because you can if you really want it. Model United Nations. I think that sounds really, really, not like the right answer, but for me, Model United Nations was really a way for me to learn about my culture and learn about who I was as a person. I was always a shy kid growing up, which is really hard to believe now, but I am now a very outspoken person, and that never used to be the case for me, but I found an outlet where I could speak up, and I grew into my skin, and I grew into who I was, and I learned to embrace it. And Model Nations really provided me an outlet with like-minded people to be able to speak my mind and be able to learn about myself. And that really did shape me as a person. And a lot of what I do is based on my roots and trying to explore that more and more. I became very adaptable. I don't let a lot of people have a thinking of, oh, I won't know anybody, so I don't want to do it. There were so many times that I didn't know anybody, but I still did it. I showed up to school and I would have absolutely no idea. When I came to Marshall, middle school, I was a 6th grader. Everybody knew everybody, right? Everyone had their cliques, everyone had their friends. I knew nobody. I walked in and was like, who the heck are you? I didn't even know where my classrooms were, and I figured it all out. So I believed in myself enough to know that even if I know nobody, I can still get there. I think that became one of my biggest takeaways from moving so much. I hope that whatever I do, I'm still able to help people. And that sounds so cliche, and I don't mean it to, but I think we all have the power to help within us, but you almost have to create that power, and you have to use what you have to create it and to help people. And that's all of our biggest purposes in life, is to make sure that we create change and we create a better society and that we leave behind some kind of goodness for people. And I have goals to somehow get into the medical profession, whether that's through public policy or whether that is as a doctor. I just really hope that I can create more of a lasting change, and that's one of my biggest goals.